The NOLA Gold sit on top of the Major League Rugby standings after 2 big road wins against the Utah Warriors and Houston SaberCats. Today, the Gold return to the Crescent City and look to maintain their grip on first place against the Austin Elite. Austin has struggled this season and are still looking for their first elusive win of the 2019 campaign. Major League Rugby is straight ahead. Austin Elite and NOLA Gold coming up next on CST. Live from Gold Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana, Cox Sports Television is proud to present NOLA Gold Rugby. Today, the NOLA Gold take on the Austin Elite. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful day for rugby here in New Orleans, and the Gold are so happy to be back in their home stadium. After 2 road wins and 2 byes, they're back in with a 5-1 record.
They have shown ways to win all across this league, and they're looking to add to that tally right now against the winless Austin Elite, but don't sleep on them either. Let's look at those standings. Let's see where things stand across Major League Rugby.
Yeah, you look, they're 5-1 right now. Austin's 0-7, but all week long, Coach Osborne, Nate Osborne, and the players have been stressing, don't get complacent, and I think that's what they need to do, Ian. But first, let's talk about what they don't have this week, because one of their stars is out, and actually 2 of them. Cam Dolan is a U.S. national player. Some say he's the best American playing in America right now in the game of rugby. He has turf toe, but the other guy we've all gotten to know and love from South Africa, Tristan Blewett. This guy leads the Major League Rugby in tries. He's tied with 6, and he's been playing fantastic rugby on both sides of the ball.
Look at that takeaway there. That was a heist. That was grand larceny. If you've been paying attention to Major League Rugby, you know this name. Tristan Blewett has been making a real impact. Got to be missed today, that's for sure. But Gold has shown that they have a deep bench. They can get other guys in there into the mix. We're going to have to watch who shines for Gold today. And of course, coming into this thing, Austin Elite was coming off of their best game yet against the Seawolves. One reason for that, Ben Mitchell, their captain, the big, tall Irishman, 6'7". He's a lock. He is a force to be reckoned with on this pitch. Last year, he earned first team honors for Major League Rugby. And that game, even though it was a loss, that was a really cohesive performance by the Austin Elite, probably the best to date. Many people are saying around the league, you know, they're definitely looking to build on that, to get some match points, to get the win. If they could pull off an upset against Gold, that would be superb for them. That would be a complete game changer for their season.
Yeah, Ian, don't get complacent. This is going to be a great match. And don't worry, Gold fans, Tristan Blewett and Cam Dolan will be back next week. But coming up next, get ready for NOLA Gold Rugby. It's the Gold versus the Elite coming up next. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the official beer of the NOLA Gold. By Boomtown, the official hotel and casino of the NOLA Gold. And by Louisiana Tourism. Don't live in the moment, be the moment, and feed your soul. Welcome to Gold Stadium. It's NOLA Gold Rugby. They face the Austin Elite this week, and let's look at the starting lineups. It's going to be a fantastic day for rugby. It's a beautiful afternoon in the Crescent City, and here for the NOLA Gold, we already mentioned two guys that are out, Cam Dolan, of course, Tristan Blewett, but Eric Howard, the captain, has been playing great rugby. Zach Striffler, you see number 7, he is the leading tackler in all of Major League Rugby.
And we're seeing a lot of changes in this game for the Austin Elite. They have 4 new players in their lineup.
Yeah, Holden Younger at the scrum half has been the mainstay, but how about the 3 Aussies? I know it looks like a Canadian flag there, but number 10, 11, and 12 are all Australian. Scott Gale, Con Foley, and Nick Feeks. Those 3 Aussies are phenomenal.
A lot of changes for the Austin Elite in this lineup. They got 4 new players today, and 2 making their Major League Rugby debuts. Look for Lerome White and Doug Frazier, both Canadians, coming in, and this is not a team that is at all satisfied with their performance so far. They're making a lot of moves here just in the last month alone. So I think we're going to see a very different Austin Elite start out this game.
And of course the reserves, Mason Bryant and Cam Falcon, these 2 props have been playing very good rugby. They just brought in 2 new players, Kavika Pinata from Minneapolis, and of course the old player, Tessamone Tangawia, and Kevin O'Connor is new from obviously the Bay Area. There's the coach, Nate Osborne, 5-1, and Alon Hydart, obviously with the Austin Elite. He's been around, and he's been in rugby for a long time.
Yeah, the Aussie versus the Frenchman on the sidelines here, their coaching abilities.
Speaking of Aussies, hey, this is our first maiden voyage without our Australian friends. Mark Stabina, Stebby, a tip of the cap to him, and Dan Power. Hey, partner, I can't wait to get on. We're about ready for the kickoff, and there's the referee, Derek Summers, getting ready for the kickoff. And, of course, the line judges will be Ed Gardner and Paul-Henri Corbier. And there's the touch. The first touch goes to the Austin Elite.
Austin Elite, good take there coming into this. They're going to have to get a nice, strong start here if they're going to run this game the way they want to. Kicking it away for space. Well taken by J.P. Eloff.
Takes it to the halfway line. Gets tackled right there. And he's going to hold up a little pitch out to, obviously that's Hebert Biden's the prop. Takes it short near the halfway line.
Watch them go here. See how they're set up in that back line there. They gave him a few options, opted to kick, going deep. Yeah, well taken by the Austin Elite. I think we're seeing 2 teams here feeling each other out a little bit in the opening minutes.
Yeah, the Austin Elite, their game plan is to hold the ball. Obviously, you want to keep it away. Just like when you play the New Orleans Saints, you want to keep the defense on the field so you keep the ball away from, obviously, you know, the high-scoring team. The same with the NOLA Gold. They score 36 points a game, by far leading Major League Rugby. So Austin's going to try to possess the ball as much as possible.
Now let's watch these set pieces as we go. This is our first line out. New Orleans has been very good with the set pieces so far in the season. That one comes loose, a little loose there, but the ref says play on. Didn't change anything in the game. Keeps that ball moving. Spins out and off of the fingertips there.
Nick Feeks on the line.
Taylor Howden probably wanted that one back. That was a knock-on, just right off the fingertips, just a little too fast. The ball looking like didn't quite come out as clean as he would have liked.
And while we're at it, because we are going to talk to our new rugby fans, because New Orleans has not been having rugby for a long time. They obviously have the New Orleans Rugby League, but what is a knock-on exactly?
Well, knock-on, of course, is just when that ball hits the player, comes off. It's an error, right? It's he didn't bring it in cleanly. It went forward. You can't move that ball forward at all, except off of your foot for a kick or by running with it. So the knock gives the possession to Austin Elite, and we have our first scrum. Of course, a crucial set piece here for any team.
Most people know the word scrum, but not many people know exactly what it is. Ian, kind of describe that for everyone.
Well, let's watch this here.
Right
the
on.
Austin Elite took that one nicely off of that wheel. The big, strong 8-man running with
Travis
it. Now
Larson, of course.
They are in a threatening position here.
Kyle Breitenbach had the carry there. There's Mikal Romero with the pitch. They're near the 22-meter line.
knock on into him. He's on the deck.
We have a knock on.
It'll be NOLA goal. Scrum.
So again, another knock there. They were moving that ball pretty fast. You saw Austin, they got a little momentum there. They had a little charge going. They could see that try line getting a little closer. Unfortunately, that knock undid that momentum and gives the ball back to New Orleans in the scrum.
Hey, Ian, you know, listen, Austin's 0-7, but they've had some seriously close losses. Last week it was 29-17 to the defending champion Seattle Seawolves. They opened the season with some excruciating loss. We'll talk about that in a second. Here they are back in the scrum for the second scrum of the day.
Yeah, that's right. This is, of course, the crucial play to get that ball back into action, and their teams contest for it at every stage of this game. But Austin Pack doing a good job of pushing them around. New Orleans still comes up with the ball, and they have some open room.
Taylor Howden down the line. No, that's J.P. Eloff, the leading scorer for the NOLA Gold, and he pitches it over to Feeks onto 7 there. That was Zach Strickler with the ball last before the ball hit the ground.
Oh, that was a big series of plays there, but it turns around and goes in Austin's favor off of a penalty that looked like a high tackle to stop it. Very feisty in here. A lot of action to see who's going to come up with it. NOLA Gold does. That's your scrum half. Your scrum half is in. The team has to be a little creative here to keep the ball moving. You can see the energy, the tenacity here on both sides of the ball. Both of them wanting to set the pace of this game. Okay, let's rewind that a little bit and see what we came up with. You see how fast this ball can move when these guys are on the foot. Player to player, J.P. Eloff, always so dangerous with a little bit of grass in front of him. Good support, keeps that ball moving. Unfortunately, that last play goes wild. Austin Elite comes up with it and gets the penalty.
You saw a great example.
Moving their way.
You saw a great example of the wide open play, the NOLA Gold play. Obviously, their backs, one of the strengths of this team. And even the backups, Tristan Blewett not in, but all these guys can play at a high level.
Of course, NOLA Gold scrum to restart the game. The crowd is into it. We hear them really chanting down here in the stadium. High energy here in the first minutes. A lot of movement in the scrum so far, and you see Austin congratulating each other. That was a penalty against NOLA Gold. He's going to call that a wheel. He's going to want to give that ball to Austin. They get to kick for space, get this out of their territory. He's probably going to be kicking for touch here, as you can see. See how far deep he can get that at NOLA Gold territory. Gets it to about the mid-range point, but it'll be Austin's ball to restart it.
Kicking for touch, if you're watching for football, that's the sideline, so that's a touch line in rugby.
Of course. Yeah, you're trading space, seeing how far down you can get into their territory. Sets up a line out again. They have to contest for it. This is what I love about rugby. At every stage, nothing's a gimme. Even when it's your ball, you have to earn it. You have to keep it. You have to prove that it's your ball. Austin
There's the line out. 9 goes to.
Very good take off of that line out. You can see him moving the ball all the way down the other end of the field, trying to get their backs involved. Still forwards ball for Austin. Gold coming up very good in defense here, being disruptive.
Nice tackle there, big Kane Thompson.
Austin Elite tries to squeeze through there, a little gap, but unfortunately comes in a little too hard. Ball comes loose. NOLA Gold scrum.
So what do you think about the pace of this game so far, Ian? We're only 6.5 minutes in.
Yeah, what I see are two teams testing each other. You saw those early kicks for territory, trying to get into good position. We saw a very dangerous break by NOLA Gold, which could have easily resulted in a try. However, Austin stayed with it. A little misplay by NOLA Gold, broke up what looked like a very dangerous try attempt. Still 0-0 as a result. I see both teams testing each other, pushing each other, trying to determine who's going to set the momentum of this game, who's going to set the pace.
Scrum half, obviously holding Younger with the toss in.
Yep. The ref is taking a lot of control over these scrums. You've seen a few of them wobbling back and forth so far. And
I heard the number 1. I must be talking about for the Austin Elite, Lerone White,
yeah,
the Louisville native.
his Major League Rugby debut. So he doesn't like the way the scrum's going. He gives him a little time, eventually calls the penalty, gives it to NOLA Gold, and they get to kick the ball. And again, you see how deep that can go into the Austin Elite territory, setting them up with really good field position here from this line out. They're going to try to set a good attacking position. Now, it'll be interesting to watch here, Scott. Do they keep it in the forwards off of this, being this close in, or do they try to get it to their fast, dangerous backs, see if they can make something happen in the open?
I'm going for the backs. That's their strength of this team. Obviously, Eric Howard, the captain of the team, the hooker with the throw-in.
Gold has to win it first. They do. That ball comes out quick. Goes to their big forwards to make some room. You see how quickly the ball comes out there. Doing a really good job. He
down
sees
the sideline. There's
Fink. And that's a try.
There he gets the try. He's going for the middle to put the ball down so they get the easier conversion.
Very, very good try there.
Taylor
you see it came off just a couple phases, and you see the patience too. Once he runs that in, new Rugby fans, he doesn't just immediately put it down. He's trying to put that ball in the best position for his kicker. See, he comes off the set piece here, off of the line out. One big phase right here, sucks in a lot of defenders. Once he does that, the big man's done his job. These guys have an overload on the outside, can move that ball, gets it in, shrugs off a would-be tackler, and plants that ball in a really good position for his kicker.
Yeah, Tim Maupin, by the way, the second leading scorer of the team last year. He's been out with an injury. He had a thumb broken. He's also plays for the ARC, plays for the U.S. national team, but it's nice to see him back in action, getting that try right there. By the way, he played on that great De La Salle football team in California that won 158 consecutive games, and that was the base of the movie. The game stands tall, and of course the book as well.
Give the ball to Tim, and he is mopping it up with that play. Very good. 5 points, and we add the 2 with a beautiful kick.
Is good.
And you know a kick is good when the kicker just walks away from it like that, straight through the middle.
The NOLA Gold are back on CST next Saturday as they hit the road to take on the Glendale Raptors, who they beat earlier in the season. On April 7th, they face the Toronto Arrows, and April 13th, they're back home hosting the Utah Warriors for the full broadcast schedule. Visit coxsportstv.com. Well, Ian, the early lead right here, 7-0. But I tell you what, Austin has come out to play. Like in half-court basketball, to make it, take it for the new people watching rugby. So instead of a kickoff to the other team, you get the ball kicked back to you.
Right, which seems like an advantage in the outset, but is not always, because, of course, rugby, a game of territory, of possession. The kicking team is giving up possession, but anything can happen once that ball is in the air and drops down near your try zone. So very often we see off of a restart that the kicking team can be in an extremely good position. And right here, right away, off of that line out, Austin has the ball, has a chance to attack from NOLA Gold territory. They keep it in the middle. That ball goes pretty wild, and the ref blows it up. He was trying to make probably a 50-50 pass into maybe that was more of a 30-70 pass here. You can see how he goes in. A lot of contact here. That ball bounces right off of his man. Number 7 tries to make a go of it. Of course, our ref, Dr. Summers, properly blows that up. It'll be NOLA Gold's ball off of the scrum. And if you're watching, you're going to see this ref give a lot of instruction in this scrum. This is a set piece. This is one of the basics of the game, but I don't care what level you play at, whether it's high school, college, club, even up here at the pros, referees are going to pay a lot of attention to the scrum to make sure it's safe, to make sure it meets their scrum specifications. And so far, we've seen a lot of attention to them in this game.
Back.
Bailey with the ball, he kicks it over to Gale, on to Howden, over to Feeks, down the sideline. Feeks, who had 3 tries in Utah, all the scores they had. He is back in action, the National Player of the Year last year in college in the NCAAs. There's Holden Younger, toss over to Gale, over to Ignacio Dottie, one of my favorite names in all of rugby.
So fun to say.
Nacho. Elite gets the ball back. There you go. That's Mikhail Romero.
Big audible hit there on that one. Ref's blowing it back, bringing it back. A knock on there.
It's good to have Nikola Bursic, who's the most valuable player. You see him right there, back for the first time starting this year, and he had an injury all year long, but he is the guy from Chile who plays on their national team. 37 caps, what cap means you play international ball and international rugby and for your home country, and he is a welcome sight back on the pitch for the NOLA Gold.
Interesting throughout the league, Scott, a good mix of international players, homegrown talent, players from across the club spectrum of American rugby. Really diverse. That's what rugby's all about. It's a big brotherhood across the world, and a lot of these guys get to play with each other. They know each other, they follow each other, teams mixing it up season after season. Real exciting stuff.
The elite get the ball. That's number 12 right there, Andres Villaseca. They have some names I'm learning to pronounce on the elite, so you folks in Austin, please bear with me. I'm learning it. There's number 10, Rodrigo Silva.
Scott, I'm sure some folks in Austin are learning them too. That's okay. This is what a new league is about. Major League Rugby in its second season.
I like the way you used the word feisty earlier, because Austin, you can tell, backs against the wall. They want to get this victory. It would be their first of the season. They've been playing good rugby. They just lost a lot of close matches. There's number 1, Lerone White, the Louisville native. Now Austin on the run right now. Now they're getting closer to the try zone. There's the scrum half, Mikael Romero.
We see another knock. The ref says, go ahead, goal, keep going with it.
Younger tossed over
and
to
another knock, consecutive knocks. Back-to-back knocks for both teams. A little extracurricular in the backfield there. It's okay, they calm themselves down.
That's a big fella right there.
And ref's gonna say, okay, let's just come back to where we started and get this back in action the old-fashioned way with yet another scrum. And let me tell you, as a forward, this can be exhausting. Scrum after scrum after scrum. Every time there's a knock or an error, something has to get the ball going again. It's usually up to the forwards to do that.
You saw the big 6'4", 245 flanker from South Africa, Kyle Breitenbach. They're large. This whole team is large. We'll talk more about it. We talked about Big Ben in the open. Big Ben Mitchell, 6'7", 254 from Ireland. This team's got a lot of bulk.
Something you got to love about rugby too. Not a lot of padding, just man on man. You get to see the full package of what you're dealing with. These guys are incredible athletes.
Some tremendous kickers also on this goal team. Gives them quite an advantage. There's Elof, tosses it over to Gale. He kicks it again, that left footy.
Looks like Austin might have gotten a little piece of that. Gets the ball going. Oh, that's going to be another knock. Unfortunately for Austin, looked like they had a little room to run there for sure. Had a lot of green in front of them.
5th knock on for Austin already.
And there's nothing more frustrating than knocks, let me tell you, because it's such a basic thing just to get that ball. But
CST brings you live LSU beach volleyball this season. Tune in on Saturday, April 6th, as the Tigers battle Texas A&M Kingsville at 11 a.m. and South Carolina at 6 p.m. CST is your leader in Gulf South sports. And speaking of LSU, I know Tiger fans across the state of Louisiana are happy with that last-second 3 to beat Maryland to go to the Sweet 16 in basketball. So good things are happening down with LSU.
A lot of good sports happening today, but Major League Rugby is the focus right now, and they are really gaining some momentum here in New Orleans.
Oh, it's the hottest ticket. I mean, this team is on fire. It's the talk of the town. You're going to see more and more people come out. We're a late arriving city. You see these fans right here. I love these. These are the stalwarts right there. I see Stacy in the middle there. Some of these hardcore Gold fans, you got to love them.
Yeah, look out at the stadium here. I see, of course, NOLA Gold colors, but I see colors from all the club teams around New Orleans and Louisiana, the women's team, the college teams, the high schoolers are here. Great to see the rugby community coming together and also bringing their friends, introducing the sport to new fans. And it's an easy sell when you got a product like Major League Rugby on the pitch. It's been really fast, good scoring games, very competitive, and so far we've got one on our hands here with NOLA Gold in Austin.
There's Younger over to Feeks, over to Gale. Gale takes a move, he pitches it over to Elof. Elof going for the try! He's down there, he fakes it in, he's getting close. Oh, just short of the try zone.
Oh, dangerous, dangerous play there. It looked like he was a sure thing for that try zone, but good Austin defense kept him running back. Let's see how this develops out of the scrum. You see the movement there. Look at that pace when he picks that up. But Austin stays with him doggedly, trips him up just enough, and then knocks him out so that it becomes a line out. But very, very deep, knocking on the door right here of the Austin the Austin Elite end zone. This will be a scrum.
Well, JP Eloff, look at this right here. He is second in the league in meters run. By the way, 6:05. Tristan Blewett set a league record with 2:37 last week. But Eloff, by the way, second leading scorer in points per game at 11. Only Brock Staller has more points per game at 12. But he is certainly the most explosive player on this team, along with Blewett.
Now let's watch this scrum, Scott. This is Austin's ball, but look how deep they are. They're up against their back. Their back is literally against the wall of their own try zone. And again, the ref playing close attention. Wants to see what he's looking for in these scrums.
Shouldn't have gone.
There's a nice high bind from your props, from your two big men up front on either side. He's looking for square hips. He wants to see you driving straight. He doesn't want to see any crabbing around. Of course, extremely important that this goes off safely because it is the most impactful play of the game, potentially with 8 men on 8 men pushing.
Crouch. Bind. Get.
Stands, getting into it, doing their NOLA chant. Austin takes it.
Let's go with 7.
Surprised if they don't try to kick it out here pretty soon. They're keeping it in their forwards, looking for a little room, trying to give their kicker just a little bit of space. Austin looks to clear it, but a wobbly kick. NOLA Gold picks it up. A good attacking position from here. Right against touch, but they keep it in. Keep that ball alive. Some forward ball. Scrum half now moving out to the backs.
Oh,
that's a takeaway.
Look at him going the other way.
Huge takeaway. Can he beat him? He cannot.
Sohail Zayoudat from France. What a nice pick to go the other way. Take away the momentum from the NOLA Gold and a score for the Austin Elite.
That was literally flipping the pitch. NOLA Gold was knocking on the door. They let one get through them to that ball hawking 15, and look at him go. Look at him take off once he has that. NOLA Gold doesn't give up, but you see how dangerous it is with these turnovers. The hardest thing is for your backs to get back into position to chase, and so it leaves a lot of open turf, and Austin Elite made the absolute most of it. Couldn't have asked for a better play for them or a more timely one.
That was absolutely needed. Great play by Sohail Zayoudat. Huge play, and that turned the game all around. We're going to be almost tied up if they get that conversion, which they did at 7-7. We'll be back on Cox Sports Television. NOLA Gold Rugby. Welcome back to Gold Stadium. The Wally Pontiff Junior Classic is set for Tuesday, April 16th, and you can catch it live right here on Cox Sports Television. Tune in at 7 p.m. as the LSU Tigers face the Louisiana Raging Cajuns at the Shrine on Airline in Metairie, Louisiana. And after the first water break, it is 7-7. A big play for the Austin Elite just now, Ian.
20 minutes in, I think we're seeing the pace of this game so far has been NOLA Gold trying to assert themselves. Austin saying, no way, we're here to play. We're here to win. NOLA Gold has stitched together some good plays. Of course, they got that one try out of it. But you take your foot off the pedal for just a second. You got that ball go loose just a little bit. Austin picks it up, makes a highly dramatic turnaround from playing defense to planting that ball under your uprights. So the rest of the game, we've got a lot of time ahead of us. We're going to have to see how these teams adjust their strategy, adjust their players. But so far, I've been impressed by the way that Austin has showed up for this game.
They're playing. They're coming to win. They're not coming just to show up. They're coming to get their first victory, and they're playing very hard right now.
See a big run here. They're confident. They're playing with a lot of confidence now after that score.
That was Aiden McMullen from Canada. Nice kick right there.
Puts it in the hands of very capable NOLA Gold backs.
JP Elof, of course, the South African.
He's going to kick it from the mark here. Look to trade his possession for a little depth. Goes right into the hands of Austin Elite. Does not find touch.
Austin taking it downfield past the...
Another big run by them. I'm surprised the NOLA Gold defense has seemed just a little bit soft in these opening minutes coming off that break. Expect them to come up and hit a little harder, a little more urgency. They're allowing Austin to get some momentum going, and Austin's taking advantage of it. They're saying, you want to give us a little room to run? We're going to run. Oh, but that ball comes loose again. Those aggravating knock-ons. Ref says play on with that ball. It's okay. It's Gold's ball. Putting the fancy foot moves on.
Scotty Gale going in the open field. Can he take it all the way? And yes, Scotty Gale's looking for the distance. He's going right near the try zone. Fellow's just short. Great tackle over there by the Elite.
Well, you see that dangerous break there. He transforms it into almost an entire half-pitch run. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the support with him. You can see him here. He's looking for support. He knows this guy's on him. He knows this guy could probably run him down. If there was another player right there with him, that's a try. Unfortunately, his support was a little bit late on him. However, this puts NOLA Gold right back here on the doorstep. It'll be Austin's ball defending. Their backs against their try line.
Can't say enough about the 5'8" Frenchman, Zayudat. He got the last try, and he almost got that saving tackle right there for a NOLA Gold try.
Okay, that was an Austin line out. They take the ball. New Orleans comes up with it, though, after a little scuffle, and they call it a knock-on. So it'll be a scrum right here again at the doorway. If Gold can get a hold of this, potential, make a fast play here into their try zone. Position is everything. Of course, it's Austin's scrum. They proved pretty stout in the scrum so far. Gold, a little wobbly. Fans want it.
Romero throws it in. Oh, Younger right there for the score! Holden Younger, the Bay Area wonder.
Well, there's good and there's lucky, and that was a little bit of both. That ball shot out the back of the scrum. That was Austin's ball all the way.
So you're saying they didn't draw it up that way?
They can't hold on to it. They can't hold on to it. And NOLA Gold takes full advantage, of course. That feistiness we discussed earlier, sometimes boiling over right there. Some of the players were exchanging their deep, intimate personal feelings about the pace of the game so far.
And ironically, the guy who scored right there, his nickname is Feisty. That's Holden Younger. He's always in the mix. And you see him right there getting in with Brayton back. And look at the NOLA goal. Everybody's getting involved. Holden Younger lives for these moments. Trust me, if there's a skirmish, he's usually going to try to find it. And he was in the middle of that one as well. That's his first try of the season, by the way.
That's your field. It's your field marshal right there. He's a commander. The ref is not done with this skirmish himself. He wants to have words. Let's see if he has any colors in his pocket to draw out. He might just discuss things with them, being this early in the game.
We just have your 9 getting involved after the try, your 9 and your 6. Just tell them both.
Primetime Sports features the biggest sports and entertainment stars from Louisiana and the entire Gulf Coast region. I bring you weekly in-depth interviews with players, coaches, local musicians and artists, and so much more. Catch new episodes every week on Tuesdays at 7 right here on CST.
Okay, fans, you might have seen a little extracurricular hockey practice going on after that try. The end result there was the ref just called his captains in and said, calm your boys down. We don't need to give any cards at this point. Just be chill. We're just gonna handle this as a game. Sent them back to their corners. This early in the game, probably a prudent move. But of course, back to that try, we're waiting on the conversion here, but that was just a right place, right time, good instincts, and the ability to pull it off. Puts NOLA Gold up 7.
He was 7 for 7 last week in Houston. He is dynamite. One of the reasons he is the second leading scorer in points per game. He's third in overall points because he's quite valuable not only on the pitch getting the tries, but also he's deadly with the conversions in the penalty kicks. JP
Eloff, he brings those kicking boots with him, that's for sure. He knows he's going to be called upon to use them. Last week, 7 tries, 7 conversions. Has also been really good, of course, with the penalty kicks, giving those all-important 3-pointers in tight games. NOLA Gold on the attack again. Well, taking a lot of the forward strength of the Austin Elite to bring him down. Gold keeping it really close to the touchline there. They managed to tiptoe around it and get it. Disruptive ruck. Lucky to get that ball off and keep it. I love the big guys when they get it, like you, when you used to play, right? When Hubert Biden takes that, it reminds me of old Ian back in the day when he was on the 2011 and 12 national champions for New Orleans Rugby. I haven't taken my last ball either, Scott. I promise you that. I'm in a little rehab right now, but I'll be back there on the pitch. Old boys, club rugby, I don't care. As long as I get to play a little rugby in my life, I'm a very happy man. And this game so far has been great. We're at 14-7 right now for the gold, but highly contested each play, each ruck so far. Austin's been not content to let things go. They've been pushing around a little bit, testing the limits. NOLA Gold, another good hit there. It looks like Austin comes up with it, but no, did not like it, not releasing. Of course, at rugby, once you make that tackle, the ref is looking for you to release the player so that the game can continue. In that case, Austin Elite hold on a little too long, was trying a little too hard to make that poach. They certainly felt like they got the poach. The ref blew it up, gives it back to NOLA Gold. Let's see the replay here. Oh, he actually tackles it pretty high, too. It looked like they might have been around the neck. Keeps a hold of him. Of course, so much in rugby is up to the discretion of the referee. You're very often playing to the referee. That, of course, is Mo Abdelmonem. He's from Halifax, Canada, flanker. A big guy. He loves to hit. You've done it like 3 or 4 times today. Right there, he did not release in time, so they have the penalty here. Well, that's another new player for the Austin Elite who've made a lot of changes to their roster so far. And just in the last month, a number of new players coming in, a couple Canadians, and they've so far been showing their impact on this game. Keeping it nice and tight, really contesting for dominance to set the pace of this game. It's Kyle Bailey who took over for the aforementioned Cam Dolan. Kyle usually plays the 6th position. Youngert with the ball, passed it over to Foley, over to Gale. He tosses it to Kane Thompson, the lock. You see some of these passes, Scott, they've been a little 50-50 in my opinion. NOLA Gold has been plucking them out of the air, but I think some dangerous play once you see what Austin Elite is capable of, especially with that try they ran back off of a pick. But some of those passes, they're maybe not as clean as they need to be. NOLA Gold has been pulling them off so far. But let's see, with this penalty, they're going to kick for touch. They're going to see if they can get some really strong position here, see if they can set an attacking platform this deep in Austin Elite territory and go for the try. They have to win this ball first, though, of course.
6.
Referee Derek Summers, you hear him. He's had a couple of the games already. Eric Howard, the captain, with the toss-in. He is the hooker. Once again, a line out's kind of like a jump ball in basketball. I know we say it a lot, but we're trying to teach the new rugby viewers of New Orleans and the rest of the country.
keeping it in the forwards, now moving it wide, moving it out a little bit. Scrum half moving his boys around, telling them to keep the pace up, giving them more of the forwards, pouring on the big boys, inching closer. You see where the backs are lined up. They've got plenty of space. They're keeping that ball in the forwards. They look like they're one push away. Austin making a goal line stand. Toes on the try line, not enough. Oh, goal to goal pours in. All those big boys come together. That is an all forwards try right there.
Is that the big man, Hebert Bidens?
That is a true team effort. What that is, Scott, you see phase after phase, man after man. All your bigs right there, bound up, working together, lending each other their weight, their momentum, their strength. You're not dealing with one player charging at you. In that case, that's a six-legged beast charging at your door. That is a battering ram, and that is extremely hard to stop. Once they get just a little bit of momentum on them, if you're just one guy facing three, you have to be almost superhuman to stop that. In that case,
Hebert Bidens is all 6'3", 275 of him. He is the biggest beast of them all for the NOLA Gold. This guy has 50 caps. That means he's played international rugby for his home country, Canada, 50 times. This is his first try. But I love when the big guys get a chance to score as well.
Battering ram, like we said. I mean, there's nothing more dramatic when that ball goes wide to your fast backs and they zig and they zag and they juke and they stiff arm and they get in. But sometimes the way to do it is right up front, right in the dirt. Just keep that ball tight with your guys. The motion that we saw there in phase after phase, I mean, they probably covered 3 or 4 meters at most. But how the phases that it took to do that, to wear down the defense and to get into that position where you can get your guys together in a nice tight pod and just punch it in, battering ram style, hard to stop.
I love the fact that 3 guys that scored, 2 of them hadn't scored all year, and Maupin only had 1, so new guys getting the action. But college baseball is in full swing on CST. Tune in next week for these live matchups. Tuesday, it's Tulane and the Raging Cajuns at 6:30 p.m. And Wednesday, Kansas State faces Wichita State at 6 p.m. And Friday, Bethune-Cookman faces Wichita State at noon. Log on to CoxSportsTV.com for the full broadcast schedule.
Okay, another good take by NOLA. Looking to build on their success here. Austin always has an opportunity playing this deep in NOLA Gold territory. Looks like they're going to kick it away. Does not go for touch. Goes right into the waiting arms of the Austin Elite. Looking around for options. Decides to run with it a bit. Move it to his backs. See what they can do. Doesn't like where he's going there. Dead end. Keeps moving around. A little bit of confusion on where he was supposed to go, perhaps. Assessing some options. Spent a lot of time going lateral with the NOLA Gold closing in. They now have a pretty good looking defensive line. Again, in rugby, you're never looking to catch. You want to move up when your opponent has the ball. You want to meet them. You want to knock them back with your tackles. For the offense, here they're probing. Looks like they're keeping it in the. They're going to kick it. Looks like they were keeping the forwards for a bit, seeing what they could do. Said, nope, let's try a different position. Sometimes a good kick could change your whole situation.
It's all about field position.
Absolutely. In this case, well fielded, right on the line. Kept it from going out, keeps that ball alive, keeps the attack in their hands.
There's that guy again.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Yeah, they're number 11. He wants that one back. That's Ratu Penny. And he had a finger on it. He had a finger on it, just could not reel it in.
The pass from Zayu, that was a little wide to Guve.
He had plenty of room in front of him, though. If he could have hauled that one in, who knows what could have happened.
That's a tough one, though.
Yeah,
man.
he knows that.
That's a tough catch.
There was a little bit in front of him, too.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a mismatch there. Perhaps a little bit of timing issue. But anyway, puts the ball back into the NOLA Gold hands. They waste no time getting it back into play and making a nice little break there. Taylor Howden, but what looked like a nice pass to NOLA Gold certainly did look like a forward pass from here in the booth. Derek Summers saw it too, called it appropriately. It's unfortunate for your fans who see who really want to see that momentum keep going, but no, that is absolutely all day long forward pass. Ref's going to blow it up. Of course, as we said earlier, only way you can move that ball forward is running it or off of your foot. That the forward pass there is part of the evolution towards American football, frowned upon here in rugby. So that would be Austin's ball with a scrum. right about at midfield on the NOLA Gold's shield.
Love seeing Taylor Howden back in action, the captain from last year, taking Tristan Blewett's spot. But every time he plays, he seems to have dynamite games, scoring 2 tries in his first start earlier in the season.
Great player, great man. They're loving what he does for this team on the field and off. Oh,
look at the move!
Dangerous.
Oh my God, he's going to the distance. He takes a little break. That, of course, is number 10,
NOLA
Silva.
Gold swarming on defense. We're able to get there. That ball's still in motion. Number 11 saying I want to make it up, but no, he goes out.
What a nice move by Silva to start that play.
Okay, a penalty will set them up. It'll be Austin's ball from about the 5-meter line. You see that fake? Yeah, a little show and go. Shows him the ball, then takes it himself, keeps it. Credit NOLA Gold for catching up with them in numbers. Good support there. If things go sideways from here. And it'll be Austin's line out. Very, very close here. Very dangerous position for them to be in. Very, very good attacking platform. Looking like they want to maul it. They break loose. Gold needs to step up in defense. Austin has a real opportunity here. Keeping it in their forwards, as we saw on the other side of the field. NOLA Gold do. Backs nicely lined up, waiting for an opportunity. Austin keeping it tight. Big pile of men there. Ball comes out. Austin nearly gets it in with that push.
Austin needs a score right here to keep it tight there, right near the try zone.
His toes on the line.
Nice tackle
Gold
right
stepping
there.
up in D.
Tim Malkin with the tackle.
Looks like Austin retains it. No, they do not. NOLA Gold comes up with it.
Nice
Spirited goal line stand from them pays off. That patience, that dedication. Of course, it's back in Austin's hands. They're not done with this charge yet.
Aiden McMullen with the ball.
You cannot take a breather in this game, not for a second, not when it's this close. Okay, NOLA Gold penalized there, did not release the tackler. We saw that penalty afflict Austin a lead earlier in this game.
What are the options on the penalty for a not release, Ian?
Not releasing, he's going to blow that up, and he's going to give it the ball to Austin Elite, take it away from Gold. And they have an opportunity here. He's called. The ref has called a whistle. He's calling in some water. Maybe looking at possible. I don't see anybody down. There is a man down. There's a man getting a little bit of attention, just on a knee.
Oh yeah.
Looks like a little bit of some blood, a little claret flowing for these guys. So take a look at him. This is a ref's time, of course. Clock stop, and we do have just about 3 minutes left in this first half. Gold, strong showing so far. Austin Elite proving very dangerous, very capable, very determined. Each team tending to their injured here. Hopefully just cosmetic for both sides.
Yeah, you got it.
A water break. But what a goal line stand that was by NOLA Gold. How many phases did we see there, Scott, with Austin pounding away? And you can see we've got maybe 8 phases of them charging, keeping that ball in the forwards, keeping it in the forwards, moving it wide a little bit, seeing if they can make something happen with some room. NOLA Gold staying on them, being really stout in that forwards defense, but also being able to step up and push them back when it went to the backs and eventually come up with that ball. Kick it, clear their area, and then jump right back up on that defense again. It's relentless, I tell you. This game can be exhausting. It's thrilling. It's thrilling when you make those big breaks, but it can also be exhausting right there. Look at that, though. He comes in with a nice poach. They double team him on that tackle. That ball comes flying up into the waiting hands of Gold. They clear it. Well done. Big relief for NOLA Gold fans watching who
He's fine.
We're really hoping for their team to get a turnaround there, which they do. And we'll restart from a line out just about the 20.
Numbers.
It's the Austin's ball, of course, from their penalty. Been very good in the line out so far. They are again successful. We go into a mauling position. All the players, all the big forwards coming together as one. Trying to push this back. We'll see where this ball pops out. They're pretty far away from the goal line to try to maul it in from here. But you see they're sucking in all of the forwards. All the gold forwards are sucked in on this.
Looks like we have a lost shoe right there.
Shoe is down. NOLA Gold is celebrating because it looks like Austin Elite collapsed the maul. No good. Of course, you have to keep that thing moving. You have to keep on your feet. You have to keep charging for that to be a legitimate play. It can be a very, very dangerous play. From that far out, very little chance of them making it all the way into the try zone, but it could have set them up for a good opportunity to pop that ball out and move it. Fortunately for them, NOLA Gold comes up, it'll be their ball from a scrum.
Perfect time, Ian, as the neophyte in rugby, as I am myself, only 3 months in. What exactly is a maul for our new viewers?
Oh, a maul is one of the great plays in rugby, Scott. A maul is when all your forwards, usually your forwards, come together, sometimes with a little help from a back if they're around, and they want to form a wedge. They want to form a battering ram, and you just keep that ball in hand. You have all your men pushing at once. It's almost like a mobile scrum. It's a scrum where you're up and you're moving, you're marching with it, and the only way to stop them all is to put all of your big players as a wall against the maul and try to disrupt it, which NOLA did successfully there. Of course, the maul can be deadly effective when you're very close to the try zone. It can be an opportunity to suck in all of the forwards from your opposition and try to make some room for your backs.
And the only time that they can use a blocker, coming from my man Jeff, he's teaching me the game every time I come up here into the press box.
We're lucky to have a good spotter up here, Jeff Ormsby, longtime New Orleans rugby player, enthusiast, coach, mentor, critic at times.
How about legend?
Absolutely a legend.
No
yes.
doubt about it.
Legendary status indeed, including for rugby.
But
that ball is Austin's, and they're charging in the final seconds of this half. Nearly back where they started a few moments ago, in attacking position. Distributing it back to their forwards again, seeing how they can do with a big dose of the big boys. Out to the backs it goes. Nearly slips through. Seatbelt tackle saves it. Ball still in Austin's hands. Watch out for their big captain. Does he get it? Does not.
He's right there, so close.
That was Big Ben Mitchell, your captain, your lock for the Austin Elite. Looking like he could just fall in and get it, but does that ball come loose before he can strike it down and make it a try?
At the 40-minute mark in this time, oh man, it's so close right before the half, a big break for the NOLA Gold, keeping them out of the try zone.
Yeah, NOLA Gold's going to be wiping their brows a little bit off of that one. Although, nope, strike that. The ref did call that one a try. He took a second look.
Oh, he got the score.
Yep.
Okay.
So he talked to his side judges, and watch here. You see how he leans in?
I'm talking about him.
I don't know. That one is definitely open to interpretation. Ref has called it a try.
Well, let me interpret this. Everybody in Austin said it's definitely a try.
Yes.
All the NOLA Gold fans say, no way, he fumbled that ball.
I can hear all the guys out there drinking their Shiner Bock and their St. Arnold's out there watching from Austin saying that was absolutely unquestionably a try. Here in New Orleans, a lot of fans shaking their heads saying no way. But one thing is for sure, the conversion goes wide, and that ends the half 21-12, New Orleans with a lead. What a game so far. Really enjoying this. This has been, as promised, a feisty, competitive game.
You're watching NOLA Gold Rugby from Gold Stadium. The Gold lead 21-12. Stay tuned. Bobby Hebert coming up next. fan of rugby here in New Orleans?
1, 2, 3, yep.
He's talking to you. He's talking to you.
Yes, I hear you. I got you.
He said, he just said thank you.
You want it behind my shoulder?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is that good? Yeah, I'm not going to hide the All Black. So I got NOLA Go. I got our traditional soccer world leaders.
Talk about we're trying to get everybody out, and you know, it's a great sport. Hey, contact sport, that kind of thing. Kind of stand right here, so I'm not looking sideways at you. You go like that. Just,
okay.
And you know, that's the.
Do you want me to talk to you? Don't look at this.
No, both. You kind of talk to me, and then kind of go there. Like that's our third friend.
All right, I got you.
All right. You know, but you answer me, and then kind of if you're talking for a while, look over there. You know. So I'm just gonna kind of welcome you and say, hey, we have our newest NOLA Gold fan. He's been talking us up on the radio. Obviously, superstar Cajun Cannon himself, Bobby Hebert, the father of the Who Dat Nation.
Well, I tell you what. Okay.
That's all I'm just kind of leading.
Yeah, and then lead me into.
Welcome back to Gold Stadium. It's halftime here in New Orleans, the Crescent City. It's 21-12. The Gold have the halftime lead. Much needed try right towards the end of the half for the Austin Elite, who are searching for their first victory. And right here I have our newest NOLA Gold fan. Of course, everybody in New Orleans knows him well. He led the Saints to their first winning season back in 1987. His name is the Cajun Cannon, Bobby Hebert, the father of the Who Dat Nation. Now you're getting into rugby. What do you think so far, partner?
Well, we got the Gold Nation. I'm glad to be out here. This is a great atmosphere. You couldn't ask for a beautiful day, more beautiful. I mean, just the atmosphere is unbelievable. A great opportunity to spend on a great day this Saturday afternoon.
I got to tell you, you've been talking us up on your radio station, WWL 870, the big 870. Real quick, what are the similarities you've seen so far watching your first half of Rugby Live?
Well, you know, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's a touchdown or not? You know, and they said, well, it's a try. And I said, well, no, actually, when you score in rugby, you do touch the ball down.
And that's where we get touchdown from American football.
Yeah, so to me, they got it right. American football, with just break the plane, that's BS. I mean, you got to touch it down, and then you think a player might be celebrating. He's running across the field, but obviously for the kick, to make it more accurate, the angles and all that. But I don't know. Listen, right now, 21-12, I feel like that the goal should be up like 21-zip.
Don't we know it well with the Saints? Hey, by the way, that's a good point you make. It's a touchdown. That last try. Hey, Elite fans, I'm glad you scored that one. But seriously, he got over the try line, but he didn't actually touch it down. He might have fumbled, but they got it regardless. We've seen bad calls in this town, and I'm glad the Elite are in this game because I want a good second half. But other than that, when you look at the speed of the backs, man, I mean, these guys are so fast for the Gold. That's been their key to success all season long. It's not much different than the wide receivers that you used to throw to in football.
Well, you got the big thugs, goons, however you describe them. I said, T-Bob, you'd be one of those guys in the
props,
trenches.
yes, absolutely.
And then just look at the speed. The first score by Austin, you could see the speed of him taking it to the house. That's almost like a 9,800-yard pick six. I mean, you know, going the opposite way. You can see how fast the really skilled guys are. And they had a little business in the corner over there.
A little business.
Yeah, you know.
Give them the business.
You know, I think what the fans love that. It's almost like you had a hockey game. Who doesn't like a little pushing and shoving? And I think it was awesome to witness that.
It's been a lot of fun. By the way, your son, T-Bob, a former LSU legend as well. It's in the family. He's out here having a fun time on the field. What do you think going forward, your coming to rugby game is going to be? Are you going to come join us again sometime soon?
Oh, without a doubt. This is a great way to spend an afternoon and just come with your family. It's fan-friendly and it's very cost-efficient. I mean, who's against that? And to show you, I've been a rugby fan, even from the World Cup level. T-Bob, look at this. You know, the All Blacks. You've heard of New Zealand All Blacks. T-Bob went on his honeymoon in New Zealand. He brought me back this. My son, Bo, who's coaching at UNO, he has his Springboks, South Africa team that he has their jersey. You know, my oldest daughter went to graduate school out there. So we've been, you know, we've been influenced by rugby worldwide. And so to have it from a local level, this speaks for itself. And this is something that I think is going to continue to grow, because who cannot like the game of rugby? We like aggression. You think about this, we like people hitting one another, especially in the South. We love any kind of tackling. And we grew up playing this. Tackle football with no
shirts and skins, no pads.
With no pads. That's why it's so awesome.
Hey, by the way, the Kiwis that are on our team, Taylor Houghton and Kane Thompson, will be very pleased you gave their country a plug. Hey, we're up 21-12. It's the NOLA Gold over the Austin Elite. It's going to be a great second half. We're coming right back on Cox Sports Television. Welcome back to NOLA Gold Rugby. It's halftime. The Gold Elite 21-12 of the Austin Elite, who had probably the highlight of the day by Sohail Judat. He got that big pick 5 to go the other way. But the Gold, I love about what they did. They're 3 guys that scored, Maupin, Youngert, and Bidens before this match. They only had 1 try between the 3, and that was Maupin. The other 2 got their first of the season.
Well, Scott, as promised, this is going to be a feisty game, right?
Yes, it is.
It's going to take a full effort from both teams. They're going to need to look past their superstars to have everybody everybody step up to do this. It's going to be a long second half from what we've seen in the first. Very close. Every time you think the momentum has gone to one team, the other one steps up and says, this is my game. So it's going to be a really interesting second half. As you said, we've seen that ball go around to a lot of different guys. They've been able to score in different ways, both teams, dramatically, slowly. These are good tries, right? I mean, they're putting on a full show for the fans here and those watching at home, and the different ways there are to win, the different ways there are to strike in rugby.
Yeah, Big Ben Mitchell got the game closer, and I'm glad they scored because I love competitive games, but let's look at the first half highlights.
Well, it starts off with Tim mopping. The ball comes out to him. He makes a miss. He makes a miss again. He says no way with his hand, and he puts it in a really good position for JP Eloff to convert again. Coming off the fast hands, but no, a little too fast. There goes Austin Elites Soihel Zudat charging down the field, converting the entire pace of the game, flipping the pitch for his team. That dangerous, dangerous, dangerous man. So fast, so capable, so accurate with that. But from New Orleans comes back with a vengeance on that play. You see their scrum half just pouncing on that. Holden Younger not missing a beat on that one and picking up the try for his team in the easiest fashion possible. But then the big boys come in, pouring on in, phase after phase. Hubert Bidens comes up with that. And then finally, to end the half, the try that got Austin Sheeran back home, that was Big Ben Mitchell, their captain, to make it 21-12 and a very tight, competitive, feisty game here in New Orleans.
Hey, we're coming back on NOLA Gold Rugby right here on CST. Right back after this message. Let's take a look at the Gold's upcoming schedule. Hey, they had that spate of home games to start the season, 4 in a row. Now they're going to go on the road again. This is their 5th home game. They've only had 2 road games, Ian. They're going to go to Glendale and Toronto, 2 teams they beat at home earlier in the season.
Yeah, we'll see how the home field advantage plays out for both sides this time around. Good scheduling for Major League Rugby this year, playing a lot of the games in the hot weather areas in the wintertime and switching it back and forth. Believe me, you don't want to be playing outside too long in Louisiana come late May. But yeah, you got Glendale, you're right. You got Toronto. Now, New Orleans has beat both those teams here. Can they put that show on the road? Then they have Utah coming back here on April 13th.
Another team they beat in the snow, obviously a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I believe, in Seattle. They got that tough win against the Seawolves, but that going up there is going to be tough. And San Diego, you see at the end there, they haven't played them at all yet, the Legion, but they're going to have them twice. One of the games is going to be right at the end of the season on June 2nd. That's going to be on the road, but they have this home game right there in May.
And we saw from the standings a lot of close teams right there. NOLA Gold is on top, but boy, you've got a lot of teams breathing down their necks. Seattle, Toronto, the Legion, Rooney. All these teams are contesting. All these teams are a game or 2 away from clinching the top spot. So it's up to New Orleans right now to defend their top spot, to see if they can get past Austin, which so far has shown no inclination to give up a win here.
Yeah, defending champion Seattle Seawolves, the goal gave them their 2nd loss early in the season. They haven't lost yet, so they are definitely on track to be where they were last year. They got hot right towards the end of the season and carried that into the championship game. And we're ready for the second half kickoff. My man Ian McNulty is going to take it away from here.
Scott, here we go. Austin Elite kicking back to Gold. Kind of a messy take there, but pulls it off. Gold has it. Looking like they're going to try to move it upfield a little bit. Interesting. We saw in the first half them kicking around looking for position. Here we go. There's JP Elof's boot, sending it right to touch. That'll be right out. That'll be right out. So that will be Austin's ball in pretty good position here, right on the 22. It's going to be up to them to bring this back through a line out. So far, the set pieces, we've seen the scrums are a little shaky, frankly, a little wobbly. Saw a little bit of sliding around there on NOLA Gold's part. Austin's been pretty good in the set pieces. That time goes to NOLA Gold. Pluck one back from them. Scrappy Holden Younger coming up with it.
Ben Tarr with the ball. I love when Ben Tarr gets it. He's like, I just laugh every time I look at Ben. He's just the funniest guy on the team, and he's also quite a great prop.
Human bowling ball in the world are his pins to roll through.
Almost a lucky souvenir for a fan. Didn't quite make it to the stands like the early touch kick.
A little bit of a out and over there on that kick. Doesn't change the field position very much. Gets the ball back into Austin's hands just behind the 22 this time. See if they can make something happen this time. Sloppy ball, but they come back up with it.
That looked like an offsides right there. They didn't call it.
No call, no whistle.
Big Ben tosses it over. Lerome White. There's Lerome White. That's the big fella.
Austin charging with it, plucking that ball out of the air, keeping it moving, keeping the defense spread.
Silva with a nice run.
You see Austin's all the way back over in that corner now.
Nope.
Moving that ball one side of the pitch to the other.
How big would a score be right here? It's 21-12.
Well, that would set the pace for the second half, that's for sure. Now, remember, New Orleans came into this 9 points up, but we see how fast these scores can change in these games. 9 points is not a lead you can sleep on even for a second. And as we've seen in this game, both teams have the ability to pull off fast plays. That knock we just saw by Austin, though, is the 8th now. They've been costly for them because they've broken up some good momentum on several good promising drives.
Ian, what's an average for knock-ons per game for a team? What do you think about average would be? Is 8 a ton?
8 seems like a lot at this point in the game. I mean, especially on a day like today where the conditions are just about pristine. It's bright, it's sunny, it's dry. Even in Louisiana, we get dry days. It's true. It's a little bit warm, but nothing that Austin's not accustomed to. Of course, we share the blazing hot climates here with our neighbors in Texas, our friends over there in Texas, Austin, Texas, one of the most fun cities I've ever visited.
One of the best. One of the best. In fact, I've always said one of my favorite 3 cities in America, Austin, Texas. One of them. By the way, we have to savor these 75-degree New Orleans days because it's going to get feisty in about 2 months. It's going to be brutal in the month of May.
Well, here we come back to the scrum.
Scott Gale looks on. You see him in the background right there.
Look for New Orleans to clear this if they manage to get it. It's Austin's ball. So they're put in. Looks like they're going to keep it. Being badgered by Holden Younger. Big aggressive play by your scrum half there. He comes all the way around and forces a knock on.
By the way, you see his hair, that he was a loser in the kangaroo court.
Watch this, watch this. Watch how he comes out. He stays on sides until the very last second. He makes that tackle. The ball comes loose. That's a big disruptive play there by your smart, fast scrum half. Real leader on this team. You know, a guy like that, you look at him wearing his street clothes, doesn't look like a monster pro athlete. You see him in action, you see why he earns his keep and then some on the NOLA Gold.
Yeah, Ben Tarr leads the kangaroo court. Swift, fierce punishment. He was dealt out. It used to be gold when he got the hairdo. Now it looks more like bronze now that his dark hair roots are coming through. There they go with the pitch. There's Gale over to Elof. Now he pitches on to Feeks. I believe that's Feeks. It's kind of far away from us right now.
Well handled by Feeks there. Looks like it could have come loose. Does not, but now they're contesting for it. Gets jammed up. Ref's going to look for somebody to do something pretty soon with this ball. Is it going to come loose?
Look at the drive, on the leg drive right there.
New Orleans still has it. And extracurricular
Oh, here we go.
Severe.
Oh my goodness, this is on right now.
Unfortunately, getting a little carried away here.
This is a little much.
Let's see if we can have some calming words from the ref.
And they're patting each other on the back now.
That might have looked like a set piece, folks, but that was not. That was actually a little bit of a spontaneous
Kane
brawl.
Thompson, you do not want to get in with the 6'5" New Zealand Kiwi. And then you see some extracurricular from behind. I don't know, that's a little bit of a cheap shot there from one of the elite players. And Taylor Howden's taking out Judat on the side over there.
Well, the thing about rugby is there's plenty of chances to plead your grievances in a legitimate fashion once the ball is in play. You can make some big tackles. You can prove it in the scrum. As a player, I always prefer to take out my disagreements with the opposing team in ways that don't lead to whistles and colors.
Good example right now. The clock is stopped. It doesn't stop very often in rugby. Tell us when they do stop.
Well, in this case, the ref is having a word, of course, after the scuffle. He didn't like it. He let it go before. He let it go the first time that there was an outburst after a New Orleans try with a little talking to. Now he's got a whole committee here, a whole cast of characters, a whole group of defendants in this class action of what just happened. And see what he comes up with. Is he going to penalize anybody? Just see a lot of smiles and handshakes. Okay, that's the way to do it, folks. That's what we love about rugby. It is super competitive. It is hot in those contact moments. But of course, sportsmanship should always win out.
No cards given right there, but I love the porn stats from my man number 2, Tian Erasmus. He got that one straight off the set. But yeah, if there was anybody that was going to be carded, I thought it might have been him. But no cards. We're just going to play on right now. Last week you saw an 8-week suspension from the Houston SaberCat player when he had the cheap shot on Holden Younger. So nothing happens in this one right here.
Yeah, nothing even approaching that level in the scuffle we just saw there. That was tempers flaring and guys standing up for their guys. From a game watching perspective, though, it did stop things and slow things down a whole bunch. It looked like New Orleans running with that ball, had a chance to make something happen. Of course, it's a scrum to Austin Elite. Looks like they're going to win it. No, and they wheel it. They managed to wheel the New Orleans scrum.
Hebert Biden pleading his case.
It's a win for Austin. They'll get to dictate terms of where this ball starts again. You can see there in that scrum, the ref wants that scrum to go straight back and forth. He doesn't want to see it coming around like that. He doesn't want to see it wheeling like that. It's potentially dangerous for the people involved, and it's just ugly rugby. It doesn't work. It doesn't work to get that ball started in a clean fashion, which is what a scrum is all about. So it'll be Austin's ball from the line out. Almost at midway into the NOLA Gold side of the pitch. NOLA Gold has picked off a few of these line-out attempts in the past.
They
Looks like
do it
we've got
again.
another one. What can they do with it? Austin Elite scrambling, swarms them.
Eric Howard
keeps them from doing anything right away.
Eric Howard picked that one up off the bounce, and now you have Con Foley with the kick from Feeks down the field. Judat has it. Jayudat, excuse me. Jayudat. Taylor Howden with the ball.
Interesting play there. You see how he, instead of catching it, he
Younger,
gave it a little
over to Kane Thompson, on to Ignacio Nacho Dottie.
Big men running with the ball, having some pretty good support here. Ball's a little slow coming out. He does get it.
Scott Gale throws Kyle Bailey up the middle. Kyle Bailey, the fast Canadian, playing the 8-man over to Con Foley. He's going to take the distance. The Olympian Australian Con Foley with the try. The bonus point is intact. They get the 4th try of the game.
Look at that, Scott. That is teamwork. That's patience. That's waiting for the right moment and exploiting it. That you all day long you can look for gaps like that. When you finally get one and you peel that off as a team, that is highly gratifying to see. And you see how many hands it took to make this happen. Ball comes out, took a little while to get there, but did. That little ditch pass to your big 8-man runner, and he ditches it off just in time when the wheels come on, the speed, and it takes it all the way to the end untouched. He knew he had men running on him. He also knew he had the speed to pull it off. He had guys there in support if necessary.
You saw the 8-man, Kyle Bailey, who usually plays 6. Cam Dolan out. That man is 6'4", 245, and so fast. He pitches to Con Foley. I mentioned he is the Australian Olympian. The Olympics just came back in action for rugby after a 100-year delay, and they play sevens rugby. It's a faster game, obviously mostly a back game, but Con Foley is one of the keys, and he has been key for this NOLA Gold rugby team all season long.
Let's see if JP Eloff can put the exclamation point on that one. Good. JP Eloff, perfect on the day.
And by the way, like I said, that was the 4th try, which knows the all-important bonus points. It's not just the record, it's the bonus points they give you. So now the NOLA Gold clutch again with their 4th try. Hey, how about this? This copyrighted telecast of NOLA Gold Rugby may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Cox Sports Television, NOLA Gold, and Major League Rugby.
Gotta love that boilerplate, don't you?
I love it.
Part of any broadcast.
Been hearing it for years.
And we do appreciate everyone paying attention to those rules, of course. And here we go, back at it. NOLA Gold driving our own 22. You get very little let up in a game like this. Very little time to congratulate yourselves. NOLA keeping it in the backs, moving that ball. Unfortunately, it comes out. While they're reorganizing, let's take another look at that try, because it was a beaut. Holden Younger getting it, digging it out of the ruck.
Younger, Gale, Bailey, and watch this.
Yeah.
Con Foley's 2nd try. He's usually the guy assisting the tries all season. He gets a little glory to hit the try zone for only the 2nd time this season, but he's usually the facilitator, not the scorer.
Well, as we saw, 4 tries, 4 different try scorers, and you know, we give a lot of attention to the guy who runs it in. As you saw in that play, it happens because of teamwork. It happens because of people being in the right position. It happens because of pace. It happens because of execution. As we've seen with all of these knock-ons, that's the frustrating part, right? You can have all the footwork in the world. You have the speed and strength in the world. You have to make the play. You have to bring that ball in to do anything with it. In that case, perfect execution, good support, big, strong, running 8-man, Kane Thompson, ditching it over to his 12, Con Foley, to finish the play.
What I also love about rugby is like the extra point in football, that's pretty much a gimme. They have moved it back 13 yards to make it a little tougher, but it's still 95%. In rugby, it's different because you have to kick from where it is on the side, and we can't underestimate JP Eloff. 11 for 11 now in the last 2 matches.
A lot of points. You add them up. It's a big difference maker. Holden Younger's going to keep that one. Gets thrashed, thrown to the pitch. NOLA Gold keeps that ball. All in all, the scrum half is out of action temporarily. No, not for very long. He's running back at it. Ball comes loose, but stays in Gold hands. Oof. Austin coming up strong on that defense. Good 2-man tackles there. Again, contesting for the ball at every breakdown. Gold finally getting it out, making some progress, getting it to their backs. That ball goes flying wild. The Austin Elite, plenty of room to run here. Good numbers. Can he beat him? Got tackles coming in. It's good defense, not giving up on the play.
That was a nice run by Villaseca.
Still Austin's ball. Scrum half looking for options. No, he takes off with it. They're 8.
Nice move.
Says I have it. Good support. Way to keep that ball moving. Austin caught NOLA a little off guard. Thought they knew what they were going to do. Did something else. Watch that gap. You always have to watch that A gap in rugby. Austin exploited that nicely. Now threatening again. NOLA doing all they can to bring him down. That was Silva. The near try. Now Austin knocking on the door. They've been here before. Can they get it in this time? And looks like a knock. Unfortunately, undoes things for Austin Elite. Gives NOLA Gold just a tad bit of breathing room. You can see here from the pile, they're looking to make something happen. Picks it up. Looks like the ball comes loose right there. Austin probably praying that he picked out try out of that one, but as usual, looks like it'll come back to a scrum to restart things. And Scott, when you're this close to the try line, scrums are not just a way of getting the ball going, not just a way of contesting for possession. They can be a weapon.
Couple new players in for the Austin Elite. Rikus Zwart, the South African, and Reese Zarnecki in for both Kyle Breitenbach, who's out of the game. Once you leave the game in rugby, you're gone. Ratu Pini Tugibe is out as well.
This is NOLA Gold's ball. They get it out, but they're in trouble. Ball is still being played very close, very tight. Gold looking to clear it. Went dangerous. Scrapping, trying to move it. Austin Elite right on their backs, not giving an inch. Of course, back to the scrum.
I'm looking at the Port Orleans Brewing Company. I'd love to give them a plug because my man Zach Streep, the former Saint, who I'm in the booth with on Sundays in the Superdome, he is one of the owners. Back to the action.
A lot of scrum issues for NOLA Gold so far today. And here they are in dangerous territory. It's Austin's ball. This close to the try zone. Again, that scrum becomes a weapon. They can win this ball. Can they march it in? Can they pick up a penalty off of the scrum? Austin has a lot of opportunity here. With 28-12 on the board and the clock. Plenty of time on it. Can still make things happen. Absolutely.
Definitely the time is now, though. Only about 25 minutes left in the match, and they were a 3-possession game. Two tries, 2 conversions, and a field goal. Or what do y'all call it? The penalty kick would do it.
Plenty of opportunities here for Austin Elite. They have to be patient. You're down there by the try zone. Try fever can take over. First things first. Let's see the outcome of this scrum. They've been very good in the scrum today versus NOLA Gold.
The Frenchman, Romero throws it in.
Looks like it's Austin's ball. Austin's ball to lose. That ball comes loose, comes out, in play to the backs. Gold steps up on defense.
Fangawea with the ball. Sione Fangawea hustles. He's not going down.
Still on his feet.
They're trying to bring him down. Oh, Gold have the ball.
Looks like Gold comes
Kyle Bailey has
with
the ball
out of that ruckus. Now they're going to look to clear this ball. Can they? Were not able to do that on the first attempt a moment ago. They do. Into the waiting arms of Austin. Says, thank you very much. We'll try again from here.
Zayudat with the toss over.
Throwing it wide.
Nice run right there.
Finds
That's number 14, Abe McMullen.
Makes a miss. Gold lucky to get that tackle. Threatening again. moving the ball, good motion for the ball, way to keep the Gold defense moving and not able to set up, not able to make it a decisive tackle.
Tanguia with the ball. He tosses it, Big Ben Mitchell.
Still have the advantage being played to the elite.
Austin keeps testing him, sending in a runner, sending in their big men. You see how it takes 2, maybe 3 guys to bring down some of these big runners. That can create overloads. Austin looking for gaps all the way, advancing towards the Gold goal. Austin trying to dig that out of the ruck. Back to Mitchell.
He just stands out in the pitch, doesn't he? All 6'7" of him. Oh, look at this. Nice move. Try for the Austin Elite. What a move with the kick over the top. And there's the score right there. Rodrigo Silva from Uruguay.
Extremely gutsy play by the Austin Elite, and it pays off big time for them. After all those phases, you saw them charging, giving it to the forwards, trying to move the backs, trying to find that gap. What do? Little box kick there to the waiting arms of their 10. Rolls it in for a score. A lot of things could have gone wrong with that
was
play,
perfect.
Scott.
How beautiful was that?
They executed it perfectly.
Rodrigo Silva, I believe, was the guy that got the try. Pisano, they call him Rodrigo Silva. He drops the Pisano when he talks publicly. But what a kick as well. I believe that was Romero with the kick.
And they were playing for penalty advantage, so great idea. Good read. That's, again, that pitch awareness, knowing the situation. That was an instantaneous calculation of the risk-reward calculus there, and it came up for Austin in a big way. 28-19 now with a conversion, so a very comfortable looking New Orleans lead whittled down to just 9 where we began this half. Clock showing about 22 minutes to play. NOLA Gold showing the ability to score dramatically and tough up front with the forwards. Austin showing no quit whatsoever and some dangerous striking ability given half a chance. You give them half a chance, they may turn it into 7 full points.
Couple replacements in for the Gold. Cam Falcon, as well as number 21, Moni Tonguia.
Austin takes it on the restart. Ball bobbling around a little bit in their backfield. Back to Gold. JP Eloff takes it, moves it immediately. They're running, looking to get some room going. Right there on the shield. Quickly to the backs now. Taylor Howden sees a gap, uses it. It's brought down by Austin quickly though. Big 4, Kane Thompson. Moving that ball, Cam Falcon, new addition to the game here. Just coming on as one of the subs. Ball messy, but Holden Younger cleans it up. Gold has some room. Makes a play. That's
fixed to Younger.
Fingertips.
And you saw the number 21. He was on the team last year. He just got re-signed a couple weeks ago. Moni Tonguia, he's actually on the schedule, and he wasn't on the team early in the season. He's got the big picture, but nice little move there before the knock-on.
Got some players down right here, getting some attention. Like talking about a hamstring over here for Austin Elite. And we've got a water break coming up now at the 60-minute mark, so we will resume in just a few moments.
Coming back on Cox Sports Television, NOLA Gold Rugby. Welcome back to NOLA Go Rugby. The water break is about over. Each half, the teams get a little break in the action in the midway point of the half, and we're going to basically the fourth quarter, if we're talking in football terms, Ian, with the Gold up 28-19. That was a much-needed try for the Austin Elite just now.
Well, of course, it is decision time here for these teams. The clock now becomes an important factor. Both teams have shown the ability to strike suddenly, to make some breaks, to make things happen. They've also shown that they can grind it out. They can burn. They can burn out their opposing defense and find a gap. We saw that great trick play there by Austin Elite just before the break, reading the situation brilliantly, knowing they had penalty advantage, testing the limits of NOLA Gold, and then busting it open with that kick, and their man being in exactly the right place to roll it in for the try. And a nice conversion, of course. Now we go back to the scrum to restart. It's going to be Austin's ball. Deep in their own territory, though. Look for them to try to clear this pretty quickly off of here, should they retain it.
You saw Big Lerone White. He was with Seattle last year, the champions. This is his first game this season right now, the match with the Austin Elite. Big fella in for the second part of the second half.
A lot of moves by the Austin Elite in the last few weeks here with their roster. A lot of additions. That shows a team that not at all satisfied with their 0-7 start to this season, making some adjustments. So far, you have to say they've been paying off. Some pretty quality rugby out here, giving the top-ranked team in Major League Rugby a serious run for their money so far in this game.
We saw a couple of the big guys come out, Bidens and Bursage. There's the kick right there. Lerone White, first game, he's played 60-something minutes right now. Is that normal for a big 260-pounder?
Sure, yeah. When you get one of your props up front, they're so important for the scrum. They're so important for setting the pace of it. If he has the endurance, if he has 60, 70, 80 minutes in the tank, and the coach believes in him, and he's proven it, he could play the whole game, no problem. But it does come down, you're absolutely right, as this clock winds on, you have to imagine the legs of these players wearing out. And we've seen a lot of scrums so far in this game, thanks to all of those knock-ons and errors.
Striffler over to Younger, over to, oh, look at that, there's Money right there, back to Younger. Younger's right tack right before he tosses it. Striffler with the ball.
Huge break by Gold there. Looked like
Younger to Falcon.
Like they were off to the races there. Kind of lucky to retain that ball through all of that.
Scott Gale to Foley. He gets nailed.
Who's going to come up with this ball? It's loose. Still anyone's ball.
Just like football, it takes some weird bounces.
Austin's from a dangerous scoring threat by NOLA to Austin's ball now, back over on Gold's side of the 50. Big turnaround on that series of plays.
Austin playing with that urgency that you want to see.
And you can see how dangerous some of these 50-50 passes can be. Look at that break, though. That was great. Set himself up. There's Holden Younger doing it all. But that pass, if he had just kind of taken that, if he had brought that to deck, might have worked out a little better for Nolan Gold.
Con Foley just got drilled right there on beautiful hit from the Austin Elite.
Yep, Austin Elite not content to let that one go to their man. Going to contest for that at every stage of the game.
They're playing for the win right here. They're not giving up. I mean, listen, this team wants that first victory, and they're playing hard right to the final minute.
Scott, this is anyone's game right now. I don't care what the scoreboard says. I see the passion that both teams are playing with. This is really anyone's game. I know NOLA is heavily favored. It's their home pitch. But what I've seen out of Austin so far, they're looking tough.
Yeah, every game, listen, the start of the season, they had 3 just excruciating losses, 21-20 to Houston, 17-9 to Glendale, the runner-ups last year, and Toronto, 23-19. So this team's capable. And even last week against the defending champions, it was a tough game just like this with a similar score, 29-17.
Austin's ball, attacking, threatening again. That ball moving quickly through the hands of their backs. NOLA swarming in defense. Austin right there.
Been impressed with Silva and Romero leading this charge. It seems like every time they have their hands on the ball. And there's Big Ben Mitchell. He's getting down towards, looking for a person to pass to. He couldn't get that.
Deep in NOLA territory now, threatening. Yet again, knocking on the door. Ref talking to him, wants to see something happen. Ball comes out. It's big forwards again. Gold back against the wall, defending. Austin has all the momentum in the world here. They keep charging. Keeping it in the forwards. Looking for that extra meter, half meter, seeing what they can get on each strike. And success. The Austin elite fans in the stands hoisting the Texas flag.
Great score for Austin. They had to have that score late in the game, and they got it.
They're thrilled to see this. They're tightening this game. Is now 4 points, awaiting the conversion. Austin, the patience, the good to keep it in the hands there. A pound away at the NOLA Gold goal line.
Juan Echeverria with the score. You love when the tight head props get the score. He's been in the entire game, all 5'9" and 250 of him. He's from Uruguay, 43 caps. Great score for Austin.
As we saw when Gold pulled off something similar in the first half. Really hard to stop those big guys when they have their feet underneath them. As a defender, your back is against your own goal line. You have to be planted, you have to charge. It's hard to stop a train like that when they get a head of steam going. And in that case, Austin asserting its will there. So far, 2 unanswered tries. Let's see if they can pull this to within 2 points. They do, and we have a very, very close game on our hands here, Scott. Clock showing about 15 minutes to play. Gold clinging to a 2-point lead, and their place at the top of the table, first place. Austin now hungry, smelling that win, smelling that first win for their season. Can they upset the top team in the league here?
We said on the outside, Ian, they were coming to play, they were coming to win. The goal weren't complacent, but this is a hungry Austin elite team, and they've been playing tough all season. Can they get that first victory today?
If you're Gold, you have to keep playing a solid game. There have been so many charging attacks that have come undone by 50-50 passes by Knox. Fortunate outcomes if you're rooting for the home team here. Austin showing a lot of grit, staying with this. Even when they've been down by considerable fashion, coming right back up to within 2, anyone's game. Big Ben says, I'll keep that.
Nice pitch.
Pisses it off. Lots of room, lots of danger. Streaking
in. No
one's going to stop him. He scores.
Another score. Is that Zayudat again?
It is indeed. What a menace. And just like that, 3 tries in a row for the Austin Elite here as we go late into the second half. That is throwing down the gauntlet for Gold. If they're going to pull this game out, they have to start doing something different right now.
Great little start by Andres Villaseca. He got the ball and kept going. There's Mitchell on to Villaseca. And then, obviously, Zayudat, once again, look at him right there for his second try of the game. This one on the offensive side. The other one was a pick 5 on the defensive side. So the Gold face a late deficit. This is a little bit unusual territory for the NOLA Gold.
God, that speed, you got to hand it to him. Once he gets that ball in his hands and he has an opportunity, he doesn't want to waste a step. The acceleration that we just saw there in that run, really impressive.
The reason why this conversion is so big, because if the Gold do come back and score, well, that'll tie it up at 33, and that'll force them to need a conversion to win themselves. So this is big right here for number 12, Villaseca, to get this one through. It looks like a gimme right down the middle, but we'll see.
No overtime in regular season MLR, so every minute counts. Clock could be the most important runner in this game. No good.
Huge.
Much to the relief of NOLA Gold and the fans here at Gold Stadium, keeping it a 5-point game, but Austin's first lead. And you see that amazing, blazing speed that has torched NOLA Gold several times now.
Listen, the clock is winding down. This is down to the final minute. I don't know how much extra time they have or penalty time.
Correction, this is a 3-point game. A lead at 31.
10 more minutes, excuse me, 10 more minutes. 11 minutes left in the game, my bad.
Austin has it. Being cautious with it now. They have that lead. They can take a little bit of time. Gold, good take at the 50. Strong run, tripped up.
Well, that looked like Bursic. We did say he was out of the game earlier. I guess he didn't go out. Must have been talking about another player.
Good to see. See them back in so far. Gold weaving back in. Right there. Touchline, keeping it in the forwards right now. Old and Younger spitting it out. Big charge by 7. Not content. Keeps going. It'll take a lot to stop these guys. Scrambling and scrappy. The crowd is into it. Ball to the forwards. See them set up in their pods. Ball comes loose. Ref says play on. To the angle, looking for that gap, trying to make something happen. Sucks in some defenders. Does keep the ball moving. Old and Younger being judicious, distributing to the forwards and the backs. Ruck defense important here. Crowd chanting, they want it.
Younger with the toss over to Moni. Moni goes in.
A lot of support here. See how critical it is to keep support. Out to your speedy backs. Can he make the gap? Almost. Gets taken down by a shoe. Ball a little loose there. Gold needs to clean it up. It's the critical zone. Can't let try-line fever get to you when you're carrying the ball here. Have to keep it at 90 miles an hour. No show and go by the big guys. Comes out smooth. Austin fully committed to these tackles. Good defensive structure. Sending in 2 men on a tackle. Not letting anything up. Ball hits the deck. It's okay. Recovered by NOLA. Elof swallowed up. Can't make anything happen. To Younger's hands again. Charge forwards. Cam finds a gap, uses it, gets a little bit of space, brought down by good Austin defense. So many phases here. So many phases. New Orleans still threatening. Penalty against Austin for not releasing. It'll back them up, pretty costly. You can see the exhaustion on the New Orleans side. There's so many phases of running, non-stop, just charging. This sets up an interesting opportunity here. New Orleans can take the points and tie it.
I think they're probably going to go for the win. If I know anything about our coach, Nate Osborne here.
They do. They kick for the sideline, kicking for touch. It'll set them up with a line out. Be their ball. Plenty of time on this clock, showing about 7 minutes.
Look at the first 7 games this season. They only had 12 tries, but in the first 70 minutes, they've already got 5 tries. A great performance. They're going to get that bonus point. So they're already up to 3 from their 2, but what a great performance so far by the Elite.
And they are winning this game. They have the lead for the first time today, up 31-28.
Well, 2 key components are coming out, Striffler, and obviously the scrum half, Holden Younger coming out of the game. Kevin O'Connor, a new additions coming in at number 20, and number 22, Michael Baska brings some speed for the goal in the last 7 or so minutes in the game, in the match.
Good take. NOLA, it's expected going into a maul position. Comes down quick though. Give that to the forwards. Don't get much out of that. Austin tracking them closely on defense. Austin can't give up a gap. Can't give up a gap with his explosive players they know they're facing. A swarming, smothering defense. Gold continues his exhausting run. Weaving that ball now into the center of the pitch. Backs are lined up nicely. Ball still being fought over there. Deep in the middle. Players being redistributed.
Got to give credit to that Austin defense. They're playing tough down here. Not wanting to give up that game. Go ahead, try.
Picked up another penalty. So back them up to their very goal line. See them contesting for the ball here. Comes up with it. Gold's ball still. Looks like they're gonna go for a redo. Kicking for touch. This time the other side of the pitch.
Nick Feeks with the kick.
Fortunately, he kicks it through touch, which gives Austin some much needed breathing room. Clock is on their side, coming in on 5 minutes. It'll be their ball.
Yeah, explain that, Ian. What did that mean right there when they get kicked through touch?
He was kicking for touch. He wanted to get that as close as he possibly could to their try zone. Unfortunately, it went through the try zone before going out of bounds, and so
same premise as in football. They get the ball back if it goes out of the end zone.
Similar, so yes. Massive break for Austin.
Basket gets it over to Maupin, who scored the first try of the game. He's at the halfway line.
Struggles to stay in bounds there, does.
Baska over to Bentar. Baska again over to Foley. He throws it to Thompson.
Ooh, huge tackle. But NOLA Gold somehow manages to keep that ball. Impressive, given the circumstances. And Falcon takes it into a tackle. Baska moving quickly, fresh legs.
This Persic powers his way through the Chilean.
Sucking up some defenders here. Can they do something with it?
Basket to Thompson. Thompson's going to bull his way through.
Nope.
Nice tackle.
Battered back down by Austin. No gain there.
Scott Gale
almost gets the break. Ball hits the deck. Still NOLA's ball.
Feeks with the ball.
Forced back considerably.
Oh, nice tackle there by the Austin Elite.
Bounces off them. Big collision.
Baska on the Maupin, or is that?
Maupin on the sideline, toeing the line, managing to stay in. Gold needs the points badly, has to keep discipline though.
Foley to Falcon, Falcon tosses to Elof, Elof fakes, he's gonna go to the outside, he's looking for somebody.
Has opportunities.
We're down to the final 3+ minutes of the match.
Can Falcon, big solid run. Big run like that, you can soak up some defenders. Advantage is over. Gold still running with it.
What a thrilling end to this match.
In the middle of the pitch now. Ball comes loose.
Seeks! Oh, a knock on.
Forward. We'll call that a knock on. Big break for Austin. Disappointing for Gold. See here, the ball comes out, moves through his hands, and off with them.
Tough break for NOLA Gold. Obviously, the clock keeps ticking as they set up. Right now, it looks like it stopped at 77-27.
This will be ref's time. Giving everybody a chance to cool down. Getting a little oxygen, checking on a few people. This will restart with a scrum. It'll be Austin's ball. It's their lead. Up 31-28 over the currently top-ranked team in Major League Rugby. It is thus far winless Austin Elite. Looking like they're about to change that situation for themselves.
You know, the Seawolves, Rugby United New York, Rooney, the Raptors, the Legion, all right behind the Gold are keenly aware of what's happening right now. They're trying to get a loss for their opponent right here.
This will be a crucial restart. NOLA Gold scrums not been the greatest so far in this game. They have used some personnel in now, some reserves. See if they can make something happen on this scrum for Austin. Keep that ball, play smart, play disciplined. The clock is on their side. Austin's ball from the scrum. NOLA on them immediately, testing those rucks. They need that ball back. Austin wants to keep it. Eat up as much clock as possible.
At least you got the ball back.
The eager arms of Gold. So give me that. I want to do something with it.
JP Eloff with it. Most explosive player on the team. He tosses. Nick Feeks with it.
Almost had a knock on there. We managed to haul it in.
A minute and a half left in the match.
Crucial opportunity for Gold with the ball here. Big
Moni
break.
down the middle. Moni, he takes it.
He has
on
support.
O'Connor, on to basket.
Basket.
On the way, basket for the try. The NOLA Gold have the lead, 33 to 31.
Time winding down now. Time is crucial. That was an absolutely clutch, had-to-have try for Gold. And Michael Baska, with his fresh legs coming in, pulls it off. Gold Stadium explodes in relief and delight. Game is by no means over, but the clock is running. NOLA currently has a 33-31 lead. Looking to add 2 here, which would put it out of reach of a penalty goal.
Hey, we said when Michael Baska came in the game 10 minutes ago, one thing he possessed was speed. You saw it right there. What an exciting play. O'Connor, who was just signed this week, passed the Baska for the go-ahead score. This is so pivotal, and that's why that misconversion was key, because now the goal would need one, but now they just want to stay ahead with one right now to go ahead by 4.
You see a team celebration there, because that was a team try. One man could not have done that. They had to go through hands. You had to have support running close. You had to have timing. That was ditched off at the perfect moment, and it sets up that beautiful try for Baska with that speed. You see, it's even peeled back some of his hair there and made it more aerodynamic. That might have been the difference in zooming him past the Austin Elite defenders, who were putting up such a great fight there.
But Ian, you know this well. They have 90 seconds to kick this, so I mean, he's obviously used the allotment. And there he is, perfect again. 5 for 5 this week, 7 for 7 last week. JP Eloff has been fantastic.
What a thriller. That game delivered from whistle to whistle. Austin, hold your heads high. That is some Texas grit that you showed throughout this game. NOLA Gold pulls it out. Look at this try. Through those fingertips, that could have gone sideways very easily, but he gets it. He pulls it in. Here it comes to his man, right down the middle. Big, hard run. It soaks up defenders, makes interesting things happen down the line. Moni with it. They're trying to get him by the shirt. That's not enough. Ditches it to Baska at the right minute. Has a man on, but he can't touch him. Slotting try.
Doesn't get much more exciting. This Moni, the new pickup to the other new pickup. O'Connor to Baska, who comes off the bench and gets the game-winning score. It looks like it's over now, and they used up the time. Excitement here.
And here's what I'd like to point out to you, Scott. We did see it get pretty rowdy for a few moments there during this game, but at the end of the game, shaking hands, hugging, good luck, guys. That's what they're all saying to each other. That's sportsmanship.
We'll be right back on Cox Sports Television. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television was brought to you by Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the official beer of the NOLA Gold. By Boomtown, the official hotel and casino of the NOLA Gold. And by Louisiana Tourism. Don't live in the moment, be the moment, and feed your soul. Welcome back. What an exciting game. If you like excitement, contact, and game-winning scores, you saw it right here. Ian Michael Baska takes it to the house right at the end of the match.
Scott, you know, sometimes the narratives for these games, we draw them up beforehand. That's our best guess. This game delivered. This one went wire to wire, exactly as predicted. NOLA Gold scrappy, trying to hold on to their top-of-the-table position. Austin Gold looking for that first win, doing everything they could, fighting for it. At the very end, NOLA Gold, you have to say they pulled that out by the hair of their teeth.
They doubled their points all season, though. They got 2 bonus points for staying within 7, and they got 4 tries in the match as well. So I feel bad that they're 0-8 right now because they're playing really good rugby, but the NOLA Gold continue their second 3-game win streak of the season. They stand at 6-1, and they got that valuable bonus point for having 5 tries in the match. 4 is all you need.
You know what we saw there, Scott? We saw Gold shine, especially with that depth of the bench that they had, having a couple guys out, bringing some guys in late, made a real difference, and we saw Texas grit, okay? Austin, hold your head high. That was a well-fought game. That was an amazing game, really. The teamwork, the perseverance, the no-quit that I saw out there, that's what rugby is.
Yeah, the perseverance and no-quit, that's what I want to talk about. They were down 28-12 in the beginning of the second half after Foley got that try. They did not give up. You even said when it was 19-28 with only about 15 to go, you said this is still anybody's match, and it certainly was. The Gold went down in that one. But we have a lot of people to give thanks to right now. So many folks that do this. Ian McNulty, great match for you. This was our maiden voyage, but I got to thank everybody. Producer Tim Fanguy, director Walter Volpatti, Ryan Doyle on the graphics, Jeff Ornsby up here in the booth. Angele Simeon is our stage manager. Ron Kitty, Sam Englehart, and the rest of the crew. Thanks for joining us for NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television. For my man, Ian McNulty, I'm Scott Alexander with the final score. Gold 35-31 for Austin. See you next week.